All right, y'all. I'm so sorry that I'm late, man. Uh, hopefully, um, you guys can still join the stream. I had the stream planned for 11, and I didn't know that that's when it would actually start. I'm still like fairly new to the streaming game, but I actually don't get mad at me, y'all. I needed a break from everything, so what I went ahead and did was I went fishing. So I went fishing this morning and I got behind schedule. So hopefully you guys don't kill me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Folks said, man, Foots, you late. I am late. My bad, JP. But we're gonna talk some ball, man. I got about 30 minutes of just straight. I'm gonna answer y'all's questions. I wanted to I wanted to make sure I was able to get feedback from you guys. It's just me on today, and I wanted to kind of give my thoughts, like some real, some. I wanted to give my thoughts on this class, and when I say my thoughts, I wanted to make sure that, yeah, actually, I caught some cat. I caught two cat. I posted in the little community. I caught some catfish. Actually, I caught four. I kept two. I was gonna give them to my uncle, but I wasn't able to get to his house, so I just gave it to some people that were next to me, and they said they was gonna cook them. So I was like, all right, bet. Um, uh, and so I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's dope. Fishing is dope. So way to clear your mind. All I've been doing is banging out film. And I had some time off today, so I was like, well, seeing as to how I had this time off, I was like, let me go ahead and do this live stream for the people. And I just wanted to talk, like have a talk. So, reviewing our class: Micah Parsons, Kelvin Joseph, Osa Odighizuwa, Chauncey Golson, Nashawn Wright, Josh Bell, Quentin Bohanna, Izzy. I'm gonna just call him Israel. Well, I'm gonna call him Izzy. I like that name. I'm gonna call my man Izzy. Uh, and who's our last pick, y'all? Our guard, Matt Fornoy. So, um, talking about Micah Parsons, I think it was very interesting when the pick was made, and it was kind of like a gut shot to people because even myself, I wanted Rashawn Slater. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't want Rashawn Slater, but what happens is when these picks get um, placed together, like I didn't know that what I knew now, that you would be able to um, have a Josh Ball on this team. Now, what he did was atrocious, and he spoke on it briefly. But Josh Ball is like the film that I've seen on Ball already. He's really, really good. That being said, going back to that first round pick, I kind of think that people underestimate just the type of player that Micah is going to be in this Dan Quinn defense. Um, I think too, we got to keep in mind that while we listen to Mike Nolan, there was a lot of fluff last year. There was a lot of fluff just when he spoke, and just a lot of coach talk. When it comes to Dan Quinn, he's giving us direct answers. As a fan, Cowboys fans, we gotta love that. Like Quinn is giving us really what we want. Quinn is telling us exactly how we're gonna. He's telling the league this is exactly how we're gonna use Micah Parsons, and I think that's what his defense is. I think his defense is not gimmicky. I don't think Dallas had a plan, and if they did have a plan, I don't think it was a smart plan. Last year, trying to have a complete scheme change in a pandemic, and it's very hard to draft 4-3-4. It just is. Um, but when I listen to Dan Quinn talk, I'm just like I'm enamored because he's sharp. It's clear that he's sharp, and it's clear that Dallas said this defense was awful. It can't be this bad again. And I want everybody to remember this: if Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, Osa, because I got some heavy thoughts on Osa, especially after talking with Bosch last night, and then I really dug into some more film of his. Kelvin Joseph, if they just make this defense better, if Dan Quinn just gets these guys playing better, it's a win. I'm not saying top 10. Don't have those expectations, because with this offense, and you have a top 15 defense, maybe even a top 20, with the ability to take over turnovers, to have turnovers. I think that as an offense, you are in great shape. I really do. But I just think the Micah Parsons pick is one where the Cowboys said the middle of our defense stunk last year. We were we weren't fast, we weren't athletic. Joe Thomas is no longer on the team. When we lost Joe Thomas, that was a red flag to me. And it was a red flag. It was like, man, like Joe Thomas is a good player. Come on, Dallas. What are we doing? Like that was not smart to get rid of a player the caliber of Joe Thomas, because in my mind, Joe Thomas was the only one who showed some pop when offensive players would spill to the flats. Jalen was just too slow. Hips just didn't turn over well. He couldn't plant and run. He looks, Jalen is physically just fit. He really is. But when we're talking about running, it's clear Dallas came into the draft. Everybody on their team, that everybody in this class does what? Everybody on this team is a 4-3 athlete. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody on this team is a 4-3 athlete. So that's just something to think about. Micah Parsons. Can't wait to let it play out. And I can't wait to see just like the trajectory of him is, the off the field stuff. And that's what people are kind of like worried about, more or less, right? But okay, when we talk about off the field, right? We got to keep in mind that was a high school or a very young kid just making a bad decision. All his teammates, and there's actually people who I've talked to that know him, their whole thing is he's not a bad kid. He's not a kid that is, he's not a kid that is, one of these people that is, a troublemaker or nothing like that. He really just made a bad decision. He just made a bad decision. He made a bad decision when it came to the whatchamacallit. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on. I gotta have some. What happened, Rook? If it had to make room, yeah, I ain't know if it was old enough. Well, wait a minute. Oh, man, bro. I apologize, bro. I don't be knowing, son. That's on me, bro. I'm gonna send you some bread. I'm gonna send you some bread. My bad, y'all. I had to jump off. That was my son, man. Being a dad, y'all know what time it is, man. Like, being a dad is hard. Sometimes you don't have nobody to watch him. He's out there, and I had the TV on. And some of y'all parents know this when you got YouTube on and they good and they like chilling. Next thing you know, when that commercial come on, you stuck. You like, dog. So anyway, let's talk about Kelvin Joseph. Kelvin Joseph, to me, is first round value. You just want to make sure that he's uber in love with the game. But the ability to stay in phase, the ability to just be an athlete. I think that his Devonta Smith film just shows you what you get in the player. I think his film versus Alabama shows you what you get. The hips, the turn. You're not gonna run away from him. That's what I love about the player. You can't run away from him. We'll talk about this, Mojo. We'll talk about this. What excuse do you have for drafting a fourth rounder, a seventh rounder, for the 99th pick? Well, Mojo, here's what I want to explain to all fans. Those are the same people that told me that Marvin Wilson was a first round player. He went undrafted. These are the same people that second round, third round player. He went undrafted. It's not always about what we think or what we have on a player. It's just not. So it's not an excuse. It's Dallas has a plan for said player. And honestly, I'm trusting Dan Quinn's plan more than I trusted Mike Nolan's plan. Mike Nolan didn't have any plan. His plan was, let's try to get Alden Smith going. And Alden Smith, who hadn't played in the league for a while. It's a trace pick. He really outlined and told us that, you know what he told us about? Because I know you guys are pissed about the Nashawn Wright pick. I'm not, to be honest with you. Mojo, you could say that, but he's a 6'4", 4'3" corner. So maybe they didn't think they would get him in the third round or the fourth round. He's a 6'4", 4'3" corner. If you want your guy, you get your guy. That's just the facts. And guess what Dan Quinn told us? His excuse or his plan is this, Mojo. We're going to use him to blanket tight ends. That's what he like. Think about the tight ends that we're going to play this year. We're going to use him to blanket tight ends. And that's the facts right there. You got Cox anyway. So I'm not coming at you, Mojo, but I know everybody wants to say, you could have got him later or you had Elijah Molden on the board or whatever. That's fine. The Cowboys didn't believe in Elijah Molden. They weren't going to draft him no matter where Elijah Molden fell, they weren't going to draft him. We got jumped in the first round. We got Micah Parsons. I believe they were going to go heavy linebacker in this draft anyway. But we got jumped. We traded back. We fleeced Philly. We got Micah Parsons. With that extra pick, you got, to me, a steal in Osa. Like, Osa Odighizuwa, I underestimate him. Jabril Cox is Jabril to steal, but Osa is like still 1A. I don't think people really understand how good he is. Nah, Mojo, you good. We just having a conversation. I ain't coming at you, bro. We talking. That's it. That's all. And Gerard Odell, I get what you're saying. Maybe he would have started at free safety, Elijah Molden, but maybe he wouldn't. The Cowboys didn't believe in him, so that's that on that. I honestly like Israel's prospects to start better at free safety than Elijah Molden, the SEC corner with a lot of ball production. He won my buddy was just talking about how he fleeced Georgia. He played Georgia so well. He was like, dog, who is this corner? He didn't even know who J.C. Horn was. He was talking about Israel. So it's one of those things that, like, when you grade the rest of these picks mixed with the Parsons and the Kelvin Joseph pick, it's not one of those things to where it's like we need to panic. We don't. I want you guys to understand something. This defense was atrocious last year. That's why I killed all the Kyle Pitts buzz at the door. Like, he wouldn't have made your defense better. You know what makes your defense better? Drafting better players on defense. Like, I know Tristan, all these Garrett hangovers, they're not safe anymore. And that's what you want on your football team, because it allows you instantly to weed out guys who don't want to be here. It allows you instantly to weed out guys who, okay, Tristan Hill, you BSing, and this is a Tristan Hill who has had some character concerns. Like, Rod Marinelli had issues with Tristan Hill. So let's not forget that. Neville Gallimore is good, but I'm going to tell you right now, when you guys really go watch Osa and you watch his pad level and his play strength, yes, he's only 280. He plays back. Like, my least favorite pick of this draft is Bohannon. I just see him on the ground too much. Every other pick makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not going to say it's a favorite or I hate it. It just makes sense for what this team needs to do and where they need to improve at. No, we didn't get a safety, but that's fine. But when I watch Osa, like, those two could end up – we could look back 4 years from now and say Osa was the best pick in this draft. Micah Parsons could be a star. Kelvin Joseph could be a star, and we could say Osa was the best pick in this draft because his run stopping ability and the power that he plays with at the point of attack. I never saw him in Vach nailed it. I never saw him being pushed back. I never saw him on the ground. I saw there's film. I saw Quinn Bohannon on the ground a lot. And another thing is I don't see him on the field a lot, which means obviously he's a one tech, but you really have to have a stamp plan for those one techs. You do. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Kelvin Joseph, though, back to Kelvin Joseph real quick. I just think that Kelvin Joseph is going to be I just think he's going to be day one. He's your day one starter opposite of Trevon Diggs. And the rest of the DBs, you figure them out. If they're just spot duty guys, if you move Jordan Lewis to the safety room, do I think – let me see this. Hold on. Let me ask this question real quick. Spot on. Spot on, Malik. Spot on. Malik is spot on. I want to answer this question because I definitely want to get to some of you guys' questions. Somebody just asked, do I think that I want to put it on the screen? I'm trying to put it on the screen. Do I think that Donovan Wilson is a starter? I think that Donovan Wilson still starts. He's your strong safety. Free safety, I think, is up for grabs. If Kazee is good, Kazee will get the nod early. You want it, what does Robinson give you? I like his prospects. What does Izzy do? Like, he's in that room as well. Could you kick Jordan Lewis back there? Because I think in the middle of your defense, you're now fine with Anthony Brown playing some nickel, with your new corner playing some big nickel to get rid of tight ends. Wow, $50 super chat. Let's go. Everybody pound alike, man. Wow, thank you, King Marquise. We're going to get you on the screen for that, man. What up, Jason Loco? You in the DMV? That's what's up, homie. Yeah, man, like, I'm not going to be negative. I'm super optimistic about this class because our defense stunk. So sometimes because we don't get who we want, it's like, oh, the draft is bad. No, it's not. It's an excellent draft. This was an excellent draft. You're going to get 3 to 4 starters out of this draft. That's an excellent draft. You're going to get role players. You're going to have competition at camp. That's an excellent draft. Like, nobody on that defensive side of the ball woke up Monday morning after the draft feeling like, yeah, I'm good. And that's what you want out of your team. So guess what? We weren't able to win with high character guys, with those Garrett guys. We weren't able to win with those guys. We were 8-8. If you telling me that we're bringing in guys with some baggage, but they can play football, sign me up, because I'm tired of losing football games. I'm tired of not having dogs on the team. That's the fact. Keep doing what you're doing, Foots. I'd like to do a collab with you one day, and I believe that Dan Quinn will save this defense. Man, thank you, King Marquez. Hit me up on Gmail. We could talk. I'm very humble. I'll put my email out there. Also, guys, if you guys ever want to reach me, follow me on IG. That's where I talk to folks at a lot. IG and Twitter. IG is Foots the King, and Twitter is Foots the King. That's where I'm always talking to folks and just giving my thoughts on things, man. I'm not humble. I mean, I'm not cocky. Like, I'm not one of those people. I just love talking ball. So let me get to the rest of these picks before I head out, y'all. I didn't want to be on here long, about 20, 30 minutes, and just talking some good ball with y'all. Deshaun Wright, that's the pick. Well, let's glance back to Chauncey Golden. I think the Chauncey Golden, another guy that plays the run well. Our run defense stunk. Teams still run the football, y'all. So again, the middle of our defense is going to be very, very good this year. I think that Chauncey Golden instantly is better than Dorrance Armstrong. That's what I mean by these defensive players. If you were on that team, you shouldn't feel good, because guess what? I've always said, you can keep changing coaches. Sometimes some of these players aren't good, and sometimes some of these players aren't giving quality effort. So you got to go out and draft guys that are known for giving quality effort. I can't tell you how many games I watched last year where guys were going through the motions. That's BS. That's BS. Thank you, Kevin Brown, for the love, man. That's BS. Yeah, well, that's true. I didn't mean to put that on there, but I agree. I definitely think that Diggs and those guys feel good about being on the team, but they also played well last year. But the guys who didn't feel like Dorrance and the guys who just been going through the motions and haven't been making plays or just kind of skating through, or, everybody's blaming the coaching. Well, guess what? Rob Marinelli, um, Mike Nolan, Chris Richard, you've had all these different voices and personalities in here. And the truth of the matter is, some of these defenders, some of these guys on the defensive side of the ball just can't play. Got Cheeto out of there. Anthony Brown signed on the cheap. Jordan Lewis signed on the cheap. Okay. Some of these other guys, Xavier Woods, he couldn't play. Dorrance Armstrong, he can't play. The book is out on Leighton Vander Esch. We'll see what happens. I think that he could play his way into an extension. Hopefully, I wouldn't extend him too early. That's me. But some of these guys can't play. Jalen Smith, he can't play. Like, I like Jalen Smith. I think the story was amazing. It's not a knock on Jalen. I think that Jalen is he beat the odds. But for what the league is, can't play in this league, man. He just doesn't have the twitch. He doesn't have the turnover ability. It just is what it is. Let's talk about Nahshon Wright, and then I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Much love to you guys, seriously. Nahshon Wright, everybody is mad about Nahshon Wright. Man, kick rocks. I don't care if you had Elijah Molden, Melifonwu on the board. Dallas drafted the player because Dallas has a plan for the player. What's so hard to understand? Like, it's not rocket science. They like the player, and when you watch him, there's things to like about his game. No, he's not. He's not Kelvin Joseph. That's not his game. But it's a true cover three. Your eyes in the backfield, being long, reacting to the ball. He can do that. There was many a times that I saw on film that he was in one drop. He came off of his man because cover three has a lot of drop zone man principles, okay? So it's a lot of pattern matching and man principles. Because he has that length, he came off of his man. He found another one. Like, Nahshon Wright is not a scrub, and for us as fans to just treat him like he shouldn't have even been drafted, it's ridiculous. He's 6'4" and he runs 4.3. You're not asking him to be a day one starter. You didn't pick him in the first round. You picked him because of the traits. That's the pick you got from Philly. You instantly turned a weak position group in DB into a strength. What's the problem? Like, what's the problem? And I know, now this is a good point. I just like the value, not the player. But guess what, Mojo? You got great value all throughout this draft. Josh Ball, great value. Trust me on that. Trust me on that, Mojo. We can have that talk. Let's talk. Josh Ball, outstanding value. Everybody wants to use that V word, value. Josh Ball, amazing value. I'm gonna tell you, man, Osa. I see a second round player in Osa Odighizuwa. Like, please go watch this film, y'all. He plays on the other side of the backfield. Please go watch Osa Odighizuwa's film. I was wrong. I thought Milton Williams was better. Me and Vosh talked about it last night. He's not better. Osa is really good. Like, he is going to challenge those 3-and-1 techs, man. I'm telling you. Like, just Osa is really, really good, y'all. Value. Cox. Value. So if you take a flyer on a Nahshon Wright who could turn into being one of your starting corners at some point in his career, who cares about where he was drafted, guys? Josh Ball is already better than Terrence Steele and Brandon Knight right now. His kick step is money. That's how you want your tackle to kick. Boop, 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 boop. Throw that foot out there. Just quick, those quick choppy steps so you don't overextend. I saw that at Marshall. Obviously, he got kicked off the team in Florida State. But if we just grading a player, value, your instant swing tackle. And you heard Mike McCarthy say, oh, we have a plan for him to make sure that he can get to the 46, the game day roster. So they already know. They're righting their wrongs. Like, Mike McCarthy isn't a guy that's going to come up there cheesing like Jason Garrett and trying to be a company guy. I think he's kind of boring to fans, but he's not a bad coach. He's a very winning coach. He's won a lot of games. And it's funny when you see this BS that's going on with Rodgers, everybody wanted to blame McCarthy. Rodgers got some stuff with him, y'all. For Rodgers to be the great Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't done much. Like, that's a whole nother topic that I get on. But anyway, Ball is good, man. So anyway, guys, Cox has safety position. I agree. Cox has safety ability. These are just kind of like my wrap-up thoughts. I think that we got 4 potential starters out of this draft on the defensive side of the ball. So you guys take that with how you feel about it. But I just think that this team is better today than they were before the draft started, and they're faster and more athletic. Sign me up. Sign me up. As fans, let's let things happen. We can't be so popcorn mentality that we just, jump off a bridge because they didn't draft our favorite player that went to our alma mater and you watch them every Saturday. Just is what it is. Cowboys fans, love y'all, man. I was late. I'm sorry. We'll be doing more live streams, so I'll be coming in with ideas and all that stuff. But I'm going to get back to just pushing out videos and content. But thank you guys so much for the love throughout this period. It has been awesome. We're going to leave on Hector's comment. It's a basketball team, baby. Signing out. Peace.